Are you excited for Disney?
Yes, I'm so excited for Disney. I can't wait. I just like want to see my nephew's reactions.
How many days are you going?
We'll be in the park just 3 days. So we're doing like 2 days in Disney and 1 day in California Adventure.
Okay, and you didn't get the park hopper tickets?
No, I don't think
Neither did
so.
we.
And there's like the Oogie Boogie Bash or whatever is happening.
What's that?
It's like a Halloween event thing, but like you need tickets to it and we didn't know about it and it's sold out now. And like they just kick you out of the park at 6 p.m. In California Adventure. So we might like switch up our days and do California Adventure first or something so then we don't get kicked out early. But like
it's gonna be so magical to like see Disney through your nephew's eyes too.
Right? That's what I just feel like. It'll be so exciting. And like
how old is he?
One's 5 and one's 2.
Okay.
But the 5-year-old is more like me and more like scared of things. And like when I went with my like family, the last time I went with my siblings, I was like literally 7 maybe or 8. And I was like terrified of the character. Like I didn't want to go up to the characters and get their autographs. So like my sister went up to all of them for me and like did it. And like I just feel like he'll probably be the same. But I'm excited to see.
I was always so afraid of the rides. And then my little sister was like the daredevil and would go on everything. Like I didn't go on Space Mountain and she did. And she was like 4. I was like 8.
What's the age difference between you two?
Me and my sister?
Yeah.
3.5 years.
That's so funny. My middle sister is like the daredevil as well.
That's funny.
What's
She's
your
like
age
always
difference?
been 16 months.
That's so close.
Yeah. But it's like so funny. Like when we learned how to snowboard together, she's basically just like doing whatever. And I was like so terrified to go down the same things that she was, but she's like bombing down and I'm like, like I'm gonna fall. Like it's like horrible. But
that's so interesting. Did you feel kind of like not like twins, but like were you always very close like growing up? Or would you fight more?
We had like phases. Since we were 3 kids, like 3 girls. So there's times where like me and my middle sister were like better friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then times where like my middle sister and my baby sister were like better friends. My middle sister liked to convince my like other sister to like do things with her and like try new things. And so if I wasn't like on board with it, she would like go to the other one and like make her do it with her.
So,
yeah. There's definitely a period of time though that we like hated each other.
It's just like, always so interesting for me to like imagine that dynamic because my sister's 8 years older than me and my brother's 11 years older than me.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't even imagine. It's just like it was like I grew up alone basically. So to have siblings so close is like so weird.
Yeah. Did you guys always get along, Devon, with your sister and brother?
Yeah. Yeah. My brother and sister, the younger two, are like a lot younger than me.
Okay.
So, but me and my sister Lexi were always close. I always hung out with her friends and stuff.
Yeah.
That's so cute. I feel like sisters like fight more. You always hear that.
Yeah.
But I never fought with my sister.
Fight that much.
It was kind of cool. There were a handful of like family friends that we had that we were like friends with their whole family's kids.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we had that type of dynamic, it was really fun to like hang out with them. Like there's another family friend that was like exactly the same age as like me, and the oldest daughter were the same and the middle 2 are the same and the baby sisters were the same, and we had like so much fun at their house. Like we were always like playing games together, like making up games, you know, like
yeah,
literally what a time to be alive. Like that was so fun.
Yeah,
imaginations.
Yeah,
just making up dances and like trying to convince your parents, like, I don't want to go home yet. Can I stay longer?
Oh my God. We would do like weekends together at some of the places too, where we would like, you know, like our parents could like put us at the friends' houses and they could like go on vacation or do whatever.
Yeah. That's so fun.
It's just so fun.
I miss being a kid.
I know. Well, a big thing is like I feel like there's probably so much of it's missed now because of like social media. Like everyone's just so focused on like getting the TikTok, getting the post, getting the photo.
As a kid?
Yeah.
Like in middle school.
Yeah, like middle school.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't know.
Well,
like even it'd be so fun to be making TikToks with your friends even. Like I still think it's fun.
That's true.
Because that's what I was doing in middle school, they just weren't being posted everywhere. Well, they were posted on Facebook, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, no, really?
Oh yeah, I got some embarrassing videos on Facebook.
Did you take them down? Are they still there?
Oh, well, they're on private. They're definitely private.
Oh my gosh.
Because before I was allowed to have a Facebook, I would just go into my mom's Facebook. Like I was allowed to do that for some reason. So I would like post videos there and then like sign my name when I replied to comments and stuff from my mom's account.
That's so funny that like
That's
you
really
grew
funny.
up with your mom having social media before you, because like
Yeah.
I had the social media before my mom, and I had to like
That
show
is
her how
so
to do it and
interesting.
stuff.
Same.
So strange.
It's so crazy how fast, like there's not that many years between us. Like it's so crazy how fast like that period of time
Because it was like just
drastically
such
changed.
yeah, and like from being 8 to 15 is such a huge difference in your life.
That's
Crazy. But then like because my youngest sister is 10 years younger than me, so when we were young, we just had nothing in common, like other than me being like a dance mom to her and making her dance and whatever. But like now we have so much in common.
Yeah.
Because she's 21.
That's crazy. Yeah, 21 to like 31 is like you're basically best friends, but like 11 and 21, you're like, ew.
Yeah, that's so crazy to think that I was 21 when she was 11.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's like, I have a bunch of older cousins and I always felt like the baby, like, oh, like little Brittany, whatever. And then like growing up and then going to London and like hanging out, because my like older cousins are in London. And then when I was like by myself in London, like hanging out with them, like going out to bars and doing stuff on our own, I was like, oh, this is like so much more fun.
Are they English?
Yeah.
Or are they just, so you have family in England?
Yeah.
So do I.
So my grandparents came over to Canada, and then my aunt went back and like met her husband there. And then we still have like some of my grandparents' family there.
Okay. My dad's dad was in the Air Force, and he met my grandma in England. She lived in Cambridge, grew up in Cambridge. So all of her family is still in England.
That is
what a
so
cute
cool.
love story.
Yeah. They
Did she come here? Do they like?
Yeah,
do they move
she
here
wanted to be American. Like that was her dream, to be American.
How
so
funny. I'm like,
she like doesn't even like, I'm so proud of my English heritage. Like I think it's so cool. And she like doesn't care. She's like, no, I'm American. I'm not English. So I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Does she like still have some of her accent?
She would say things weird, but she didn't have an English accent really. But I always made fun of her because she'd say grandma. Like her ahs ended with a R kind
like,
of.
No.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Dang, I don't have that close of relatives in England, except my King Cromwell, if you look that up. He was this man. He was a horrible king. He like killed a bunch of people and he like chopped off all of his ex-wives' heads.
Why is that a thing with kings?
I don't know. I think it was just the thing back then.
A power trip.
Yeah.
Off with her head.
Literally, like, why was that like the go-to? But
also, but
what?
I just got a campaign confirmed for $7,500.
Oh my gosh! Yay!
I'm really excited.
Save it for the peaks.
I'm sorry.
That is a peak. But yeah, that dude is like my great grandpa.
That is so. Did you get like a heritage thing?
No.
Traced?
This is just what I've been told. It could be false information. But as far as I'm aware, I've always used that in my 2 truths and a lie.
That is really funny.
But there's like some separation, obviously, because otherwise I'd be a princess.
I would love to be a princess. My life goal.
Princess Diaries.
Yes. I love that.
Your grandmother comes looking for you and tells you that you're a princess and you have to.
Wait, aren't they making a new Princess Diaries? Or did I
What?
make that up? I felt like I saw that they were making a reboot.
I don't know if there could like top that.
People always make fake reboot movie posters or trailers, and I hate it because I fall for it every time. Do you ever see those like on TikTok?
No.
Oh my God, I always see like
I'm glad I don't.
trailers or things, and I'm like, oh my God, a sequel, and then it's not.
I don't think they're doing a sequel because I Googled it and I'm not seeing anything or reboot.
It must have been fake.
Do you get these a lot?
Yeah, and I fall for it. Because it's always like great movies that I love.
That's so funny.
Oh, just kidding. It might be. Elle wrote an article, everything we know about the Princess Diaries 3 so far.
So it's like a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would still be Anne Hathaway.
Wow. Trying to bring her
Honestly,
back.
the second Princess Diaries, I maybe think it's better than the first one.
Really?
I love the second one.
It's kind of like comforting.
The first one's like just so nostalgic. I don't know.
I mean, it's iconic. The second one, though, the sleepover scene where they do they go on the mattresses down the slide, that is so iconic. I wanted to do that so bad.
Yeah.
And their cute pajamas.
Yeah.
Maybe. What song plays? I feel like I can hear the song too.
I can just think of the Miracles Happen song.
That's what's playing in my head. I think that's what plays during that scene.
I think it's so funny that Sandra Oh is in it with like such a small part.
Yeah, that is so weird. Why was Sandra Oh at the Queen's funeral?
Didn't they talk about it on the Morning Toast?
I didn't listen today. Or did they?
I think a couple of days ago they said why she was like some kind of maybe Asian American honoree or I don't know, something like that.
Wait, Deb, are you like into the Morning Toast now, or are you just like testing it out right now?
I guess I'm not in love with it, but I'll probably keep listening to it.
Okay.
Tester period.
Yeah. But my sister said that Shonda Rhimes wrote Princess Diaries.
No way.
1 or something.
What a genius of a woman.
Like
and that's why, like, obviously Sandra Oh was hired for Grey's Anatomy because she had worked with her and stuff.
That woman is a genius.
The Princess Diaries too. I don't know.
She has her own like production company now.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah,
that's so awesome.
I love the speech. Did you see the speech that she did? I think it was like at a graduation, and it was basically about like people ask her like, how do you do it all? Like, you're doing so much, like, how are you so successful in doing it all? And she basically said like, I'm never doing it all. Like, when I'm killing it on my shows, like, I'm missing my son's bath time. When I'm with my family, I'm very much slacking on my shows, like just all of these things. And it's like, that's so true.
Good
like,
to
people
know.
really act like they're doing everything at once, but like when you are doing everything, you cannot do everything 100%.
I know.
Yeah. By the way, she wrote Princess Diaries too, just a fact check. Not the first one.
See? I told you I like that one better.
That's I think like what's so portrayed on social media too. Like, and I'm not sure how many people, or at least like from the bloggers that I see, I don't know how many of them have had assistants and like teams for like years. And there's only a handful that talk about their assistants and like their teams. Like Loverly Gray has like $1 million business and has like a full team under her. Like someone does like a little bit of everything. And like that is doable to like be an influencer and like do what she does with a team.
But you see it all and like have no idea, so then you're just full comparing yourself.
So then you compare yourself and you're not doing enough, and then you feel like shit.
Yeah, which brings us to our topic today.
I know.
I don't know how we always do that perfectly. Like, literally, we're talking about Princess Diaries, but we're going to be talking about dealing with comparison and jealousy and all of that in all forms in real life and on social media.
My God, it's my biggest like depressant.
Yeah. Hey, well, welcome back to So Glad We're Friends. I'm Maggie.
I'm Devon.
I'm Brittany. Excited to dive in.
Do you remember struggling with comparison before social media? Like, obviously, when we were younger, we weren't always inundated with what everybody else is doing all the time.
No, like when I'm just trying to think about, it's such a therapy thing. Be like, when was the first time you felt this feeling?
Yeah.
But I'm good at that now. So like I'm trying to think back, like when was the first time I felt like I compared myself? And I feel like it's always been more so with my friends. Like my friend Morgan, she's still my best friend, but like in second grade she like would straighten her hair, and like I didn't have a straightener and stuff. She started wearing eyeliner in like sixth grade, and I wasn't allowed to wear eyeliner, and I was like, she's just the coolest freaking person, like I just want to be her. So I feel like feelings like that, but probably not till like middle schoolish, just like when it all comes up.
But like even so, like I had the same, my across the street neighbors were my age and my sister's age, and we were best friends, but they were so spoiled and they always had everything. And like I always wanted everything that they had, and I never had it. And like on Christmas, we would go see each other and tell each other what we got for Christmas, and they would get like a million things. And I was just always trying to compete with them, you know?
Aww.
Yeah. That's so hard. I feel like my biggest comparisons were always like from sports. Like
interesting.
Getting like played, like, you know, like put in, or like always trying to like achieve more, or like be like, you know, because, you know, people are like, oh wow, they're like so good at this or that or the other thing.
People winning and you getting second or third or whatever.
Yeah. Well, like all my sports were team sports, so it wasn't really like, you know, first, second, third, but it was like playing time, or someone was more skilled and like getting praise for doing this or that. So I feel like a lot of mine was like from sports.
In dance, it's like the thing with the comparison and like the feeling good about yourself is when you're being put in the front row for a dance versus in the back row.
Oh God, or like getting solos and stuff.
Yeah. I was always in the front and center, but
I'm sure you were. I'm sure you were.
The toys thing is also so true as well, because I remember like whoever had like the Barbie houses, or like the
even like in first grade, my best friend, she was spoiled too, and she had all of the Spice Girl Barbies, and I only had one, and it was freaking Scary Spice, which I love her now. I love Mel B now, but I wanted Baby Spice, but my friend had all the Barbies, like everything.
That is so funny.
It's so
I feel
weird.
like, unfortunately, I was the spoiled child. Well, fortunately for me, but I don't think I had that, because I was the one like, look at everything I got for Christmas, like calling my friends directly after, probably being such a bitch. But it's so interesting that like you say sports and stuff, because it just made me think like no matter what phase of life we're in, like just the comparison can be applied to every single thing that you want to be. Like in that phase of your life, you want to be a good athlete, and then it's like that's what you're comparing yourself to. Like now when I'm like struggling, I want to make money, then I compare myself to people making money. Like, crazy.
I think that like there is a healthy level of it to some degree, like especially in sports, like seeing someone get more playing time, or seeing someone like do something really cool or novel, or just they're really good at whatever they're doing, made me try harder, or, you know, do something different or put more effort into it. But there's also a lot of like unhealthy sides of it too, just in terms of cattiness.
And the unhealthy self-talk too, which is something that it's so hard, but you have to constantly be working on it, because like it's great that they're doing great, but like you're also doing great, and it's hard to remind yourself that.
I think a lot of mine too was in, for example, like with scoring goals, like not every position in, like, because I played field hockey, soccer, and lacrosse, or in volleyball, but like scoring the goals was like such a big thing, because your like name was announced, your number was announced, and so it was one of those things where like we were almost like trying to get that recognition and like that like at a girl type of thing, in addition to the rest of it.
I played 1 year of soccer. I think I was like 6, probably. I was very little. And I vividly remember like the season ending, the last game, like when you pass out like the participation trophies or whatever, and they read out a list of all the goals made that season. And I was the only person on the team who did not make one goal. And
my God.
I was crying. And like I remember it so vividly. That's so crazy.
Aw.
Were you like in the defense side of it, or was it? I mean, it was like, I guess 6-year-old.
I'm horrible at sports. I didn't make the volleyball team. That was another thing in 5th grade. I'm just not.
I forgot about tryouts
for softball all the time. So yeah, Yeah, tryouts.
The whole tryouts piece of it, that was nerve-wracking as hell.
Oh my God, so hard. And then like waiting to see if you made it
in the list
in front of everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So embarrassing. And everybody that you tried out with you knowing that you didn't make it or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like they should not do that in front of everyone. But maybe that's like self-development.
I like forgot about that piece of it.
Yeah, like
and we like
had a sheet of paper.
And a lot of the sports I did too, the ones that were like starting in the fall, we would like practice and do stuff like preseason stuff for like weeks on end. And then like you would go and try out, and like the people that didn't make it like had spent, you know, how many ever weeks of the summer doing this stuff and like wasting their time.
Well, it wasn't a waste of time.
Yeah.
They learned
so.
some stuff, but yeah,
maybe
it does suck.
It's just so, I don't know.
How did you deal with comparison in like middle school and elementary school? Like, I feel like nobody really like talked about that. Like, I don't remember telling my parents or my friends or anything, like, I'm feeling these jealous feelings or anything. I don't think I knew what that meant.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't remember trying to deal with it, or, you know, I would just like save my money and buy more stuff to be
to try to be
like them or whatever.
I think like I probably said stuff about like how so and so has something else, and I definitely remember different conversations of like my parents saying, well, you have this, or just like trying to teach a lesson on it. Like, because it really, like, you know, when you're younger, it really came out in terms of what someone else had and we didn't have.
That's correct. Like that starts from like when you can talk, like, but they have it and why can't I have it?
Literally.
That's like actually kind of funny. It's probably rooted so much deeper than we're even like realizing.
It probably is like full in our genetics of like caveman days of like they have food or they have shelter and we don't. Like, it's probably a thing of that almost.
Yeah, I think our brains are naturally always trying to find similarities within people. Like, you're more comfortable being around people who are similar to you. And then so it's like a big light bulb, like a flashing light, like when somebody has something that you don't, and then you want it.
And then you want it. Oh my God. I just remembered in 4th grade, there was this girl also named Maggie, but without the E at the end. And she was the coolest girl I ever met in my whole life. I don't know. She was just like hippie. She was just so cool. She had pet rats. So I got pet rats.
Ew.
She had this like real life, like $500 baby doll. That was like one of those ones that like breathe and look really real.
Oh my God.
So I got the $500 baby doll, like saved up all my money. Like,
oh my God.
It's so interesting. I just remembered that right now. Like, you literally as a kid are being like, I want that person's life. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
That's
that
crazy.
So crazy.
Was it actually a $500 baby doll you saved up in 4th grade? How did you make that money?
I mean, my parents would give me like allowance
for
gifts and stuff. I was really good at saving money when I was a kid. Like, if I got a few hundred at birthdays or something.
I wish I did. I think I spent every last penny of my life.
I always had like something next that I wanted to like buy. Like, I'd save for the baby doll, or I bought like this like gold Harry Potter necklace for like $300.
Oh my God.
What? That's like those are big purchases. I feel like
it's like more than a Tiffany necklace.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
It was like from Etsy too, probably.
That is crazy. When you guys started on like, I guess, started like your own personal accounts on social media, did you feel like you were in comparison traps as much as like on, you know, our more business, like personal brand accounts?
I would say even more so. Well, it's just in different ways.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I didn't feel that. I like currently I have such bad comparison, like jealousy.
You didn't like with your normal social media at all? Like,
I mean, not as bad. No.
I think mine was probably more FOMO. Like,
yeah.
Or I don't know. I guess it wasn't as maybe internalized. It was like comparison or maybe jealousy or like maybe I should be doing this, but it wasn't as like personal versus I feel like now comparison is much more personal.
Yeah.
And for my personal accounts, like I feel like my comparison and jealousy was just always about looks, like people's bodies or faces or makeup or whatever. Like it was always appearance based. And now I never really deal with comparison of body wise, but
yeah, that's so true. I don't either. I'm much more focused on like cool content.
Like when you just mentioned that, I'm like, I don't think I was really comparing like my like life or like this girl is doing other things in high school. It was more like she's just really pretty.
Yeah.
Or like they're going on trips and taking cool pictures. I was kind of jealous of that still, but like it didn't matter as much because it wasn't my career.
Yeah, that's so interesting. So like when you started like Devon or like Willow the Corgi, do you feel like it started immediate like comparison, like the really like negative stuff that you're experiencing now, you experienced it, or it was like more fun?
It was more fun. Like I just think it's hard now because I want to be really successful and make a lot of money and stuff. So like once I decided that I wanted to start making money at social media, I think it got harder.
Question. Do you feel like in your other jobs you felt comparison issues? Because I feel like a big part of why this is like such a big problem for me now and everything of comparison with social media, it's because it's like people who are doing it as their job. And I feel like there's a lot of information out of how much money people are making, how much brand deals they're bringing in, all those statistics about their business and whatnot. And like when you have normal coworkers, you're not necessarily discussing salaries or bonuses or all the projects they're working on or things like that. Like it's kind of more separated.
And you're not seeing everybody in your fields work all day long either. Because like even when I was a graphic designer, I didn't see my competitors work all day long. I just saw mine mostly.
So mine was the exact opposite because being in sales, we knew everybody else's rankings.
Oh, really?
Where they stood, like, and it's sent out monthly.
So did like, you deal with that a lot?
Oh yeah. So like comparison was all the time. And again, to some degree, like it definitely drove me to do more because like, you know, there's different like call times, like how long could you talk to somebody like when I first started, or like how many calls did you make, or like how much business are you bringing in? And then you get awarded for it. Like you get president's clubs, you get bonuses and all of this stuff. And it's all very public information.
And
like,
everyone else seeing that you're in the top.
And you like go on stage and like, there's just so much of that.
That's how Cameron is. Like he's very motivated. Like the statistics that get shown, like he's like, okay, I want to be first because that's getting sent out to everybody. Like,
yeah,
that is so crazy.
And there's obviously also like a lot of recognition with it. So, you know, higher up people within the company, like we'll talk about it, or, you know,
would you talk as coworkers? Like,
yeah,
this person's doing really well, or this person's been doing really shitty.
Yeah. Me and one of my friends, like really good friends, we would like have multiple calls a week, just like talking about other people and like performances, and probably wasn't like always the most healthy thing, but
but
it was the same thing as like us, like talking, you know, in our threads about just different things happening. But yeah, it definitely perpetuated all of the comparison and jealousy. And
what's hard about social media though is that like not only are you seeing influencers get that brand deal or make that cool content, but they're like constantly sharing, like when people show vlogs of their day and like the work that they're doing, and you see how many videos in stories they're posting every day and how many social media platforms they're on. Like you feel like you're seeing every piece of their life when you're not. But yeah, so then you start comparing like, well, I'm doing the same thing, but I'm not getting enough done, or I'm not getting those brands reaching out to me or whatever.
That's a really good point of like the amount of work or like the output that people have, because it can, and people like perpetuate it too. Like you might not do that much, but you can make it look like you did a ton for the day.
Yeah. Cause like when I film a daily vlog or whatever, I'll like, while I'm filming it, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't do anything today. But then when I'm editing it, I'm like, holy shit, it seems like I did a million things when I was only productive for 3 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think with longer form video or like just TikTok of it being some like posting multiple times a day, like it makes people just think even more that you're showing all of it, when it's like, okay, just because I vlogged my day doesn't mean you're seeing my whole day.
Yeah, that is a lot. And I mean, it obviously, and we like think about the output in terms of like, or other people see like the number of videos that are being put out, but we also know how much goes into every single vlog that's being edited, every single story post, and like how much time it takes. It's really annoying how long it takes to like repurpose the content on other platforms as well.
Yeah. And like you said, like, but we don't know what help they're getting. Like they might have someone fully editing all their videos or
Do you feel like the comparison never prevents you from doing things?
I think for up until I started this Instagram account, yes. 1,000%. Like I wanted to start a YouTube channel when I was like in 5th grade, but I just never actually did anything because I was just too scared and compared myself.
Yeah, I think it like motivates me to keep doing things, but also it's bad on my mental health just because I beat myself up.
Yeah.
All the time.
And then also, like, if you think about social media, we're all in one place all of a sudden with so many people, when like at my serving job, it's like easy to see where we are all at in life. There's some servers who are in college and doing college classes. There's some who are, this is their career and they're like 30 something, 40 something. There's some that have another job and they're doing this part-time. Like it's very clear to see we're all doing the same job, but we all are in very different life circumstances. But like on social media, it's just like we're all doing this. It's not clear of like you're 7 years older or you're have another job or whatever the fuck. Like that's not all out there.
I think the age differences have been one of the most surprising things to me. And it makes sense why, like, there's people that are in their 30s that obviously they just have more like life experience. And so some of their professionalism or some of their just things that they're doing, it just like makes more sense why they're at where they're at, or like kind of what they're doing. And for a while I thought like everyone was just my age, and I'm just like, oh, we're all the same.
Literally, but I struggle with that so much.
Obviously. Yeah, or just like they have been doing it longer or whatever too.
Yeah,
like we haven't been doing this for that long.
No,
in the grand scheme of things. Like some people have been on YouTube for like 12 years.
Yeah, for sure. Even the people like starting like pre-reels, pre-TikTok and stuff, that have like just built relationships over that period of time, and then can just like translate all of that into something more once they've like amplified that. I think makes such a big difference.
Yeah,
I think for the longest time there was somebody else who like kind of started sharing more tips about like dog Instagram and like kind of developed a business on it. And for a long time I had
oh my god, where did that bitch go? Literally, no where's she at? Like, wait, what? I feel like I know who you're talking about, and I'm just like, wait, did she just disappear? Like,
yeah, I really don't know.
Anyway,
but she like shut everything down. Like she had a Facebook group. She like had a membership.
Oh, like she finished everything.
She like shut everything down.
Oh, wow.
And the reason why I think this is so significant is because there was a long time where like I felt like I might not be able to like create the community that I want to, or like start the business. But I'm so fucking glad that I didn't listen to that side of my brain, because now I've cultivated like a completely different type of community. Like obviously a lot of dog influencers, dog moms are part of it, but had I not done that, like hers would have probably been done. Or I don't know. I don't know what would have happened, but it's like I would have been doing such a disservice to my community had I never started. And I just think that's like such a significant piece in my mind that I'm like, wow. And everyone has such a different take on what they want to do too. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's like what my whole mental breakdown I had earlier this week or last week, whenever that was. I felt like like it's all like when people, I don't even know how to explain this. I was trying to talk to Cameron about it last night and I don't even know how to like articulate my thoughts. But like I just kind of felt like for once I gained followers and started doing this as a job, then it was like I almost felt like I had to like become this like Instagram guru person or like be giving like the social media tips and like here's how you gain followers and here's how you make money and all of those things and like here's how to help write an email and all of like those sides of things. And I think it's just like I like that's not what I originally started with. That's not what brought in my audience. That's not
right.
It's kind of not even, I'm not even passionate about that side of things. But like I'm more so passionate about like the creative side of things. Like I'm not like you need to post this certain video and this certain video these times a week or whatever. Like I'm more about like helping people figure out like the things in life that make them happy and like turning those things into content, turning hobbies into jobs, like whatever it might be, like not even on social media necessarily, but just like helping people become more comfortable in their own selves. And I think like I spent too much time or like tried to like make myself like fit in that box of like what everyone else is doing when like that's not even really what I want to do. So why am I comparing myself to people who are doing that?
Mm-hmm. I feel that so much in terms of like the growth and engagement and all that stuff because like I just saw so many people doing it, so I was like, oh, I should do that. But in reality, like I don't fucking care about followers or views or anything like that. Like obviously I, to some degree I do, but like that's not what I want to teach people. Like I want to focus on the money side of things. And I'm so happy I like really stopped talking and like content planning. Like I used to make these posts and I thought because they just did so well that I like had to keep doing it, but it was such a pain in the ass and I like hated doing it.
And I'm way more into this is how you should make a video and like tell your story and this is how a video will get views and stuff. Like that's what I like more. Yeah. But you just like try to put yourself in like these boxes for some reason.
Do you feel like you had a good discussion with Cameron to like release that pressure of needing to fit in that mold and like you're defining your own mold?
Yeah, I think so. I think in the last episode I was talking about my business and stuff, but like I mean, it's been like 3 years now since I started Fins. Well, in October it'll be 3 years since I started the account, but like only 2 years since I got a brand deal or it like actually started taking things like seriously. And like just my brain has changed so much of like what I wanted to do because this has always just been like a stepping stone for whatever business I want to have one day. But then it just turned into like, okay, maybe I can sell products or maybe I can sell these courses or maybe I'll have this membership or maybe I'll do these other things. Like I just have so many ideas that like I felt like I was kind of just like bouncing back and forth with too many things instead of just like focusing on, like I was telling Cameron, like, Devon, you're so good at like people, obviously people want tips and stuff from you and like asks things to you, but like people are just interested in like your life. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's, I guess I don't know. I compare myself to other people who have people interested in their lives and they have so many thousand more people who care. And so like I
feel like your thing is numbers a lot right now when you're saying people care about me, but not as many people as other people have. Like you always care about the like number of it.
Exactly.
More.
And what other people have and I don't have.
Do you feel like the quality of the engagement you get is not as good as the other people or just the amount?
Probably also the quality just because like there are so many TikToks that I'll post or whatever and nobody will even comment. Like I would love if somebody would just comment and be like, oh my God, I love your shoes, or just like saying things besides hi and like stuff like that,
first, I'm early.
Yeah, first, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you reply to the people that do like consistently comment, like just I love your shoes, or like, oh, this like
I always reply.
is so relatable.
Yeah.
That's like it's so tough to like know, like build those genuine relationships until like someone sends you a TM that says like, thank you so much for this, or, the random things. Cause you never, because it's always surprising to me, just like there's so many silent people.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Many. Oh my God.
And I was like reading this article about how to deal with comparison or whatever. And one of the things was you have to remember how many you have people that want what you have or that look up to you. And like all of us have so many silent fans, that are just watching everything, but not commenting or whatever.
Also, I think it is a thing that like maybe because you have so many more followers on TikTok, or like just you have so many followers in general, like I know for me at least, if I'm better at it now, but I used to be like, if I saw someone had a lot of followers, I wouldn't reply to their stories or DM them or comment on their things, because I'm like, they're not going to see it. Yeah. Now I know that that's not really the case, and you do see a lot. Yeah. But like, I think people have that in their heads almost like, oh, she's so big now, like she's not going to answer me or whatever, and then they just don't. But people don't know that it's like you can still see the things even if you don't reply, like you'll probably still see it.
Yeah. Maggie, I think you've done such a good job, like just making a community of girls that are like you, which I'm jealous of.
That's my one thing. Like, that's what
But that's so important.
I know, it's it's the best. That's why I'm like, that's kind of what made me have the breakthrough or breakdown or whatever. Of like, okay, this is what I need to focus on. Like, this is what I'm so passionate about, and like the people that I love and everything. Like, but that all started, like, I gained them from when I was not caring about the other stuff and when I was just being myself. Like, I struggle a lot. I feel like there's not as many new people who are DMing me and that I become close with and that join Dog Mom Club and stuff. It's very much people who have followed me for years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have as many new people.
Yeah. So then you're like, how am I ever going to grow into what I want? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's also a struggle. Did you guys see Jenna's TikTok?
I was gonna about how she's like changing her passion and like she doesn't know what she wants to do anymore and stuff.
Yeah, like she's saying basically, like she just posted one too about feeling fulfilled, and she made a whole podcast episode on it apparently. Hold on, I'm gonna move my mic cord up. She was saying like she hasn't been feeling fulfilled by social media and stuff, and she was talking about different types of fulfillment and how like you need to be financially fulfilled and feel comfortable and safe. You need to feel socially fulfilled. You need to feel creatively and then like purpose-wise fulfilled. Like, there's so many different aspects, and no job can really cover all of those. And I think at different periods in time, like, you feel unfulfilled in each of those different aspects. Like, you can never feel fulfilled in all of them. Yeah. So it makes you compare yourself to whatever you're lacking in at that moment.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a really good point that just kind of makes me think of like, are we trying to make social media fulfill too many buckets in our lives?
Probably.
Like, do we need to kind of zoom out and see, okay, social media can fulfill like these couple things, but the rest of my life has to fulfill other components?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's what, she had a lot of comments like, Jesus is the only thing that will fulfill you. But like, I do think it is like Jesus or the universe or your soul or whatever.
Family, friends.
Yeah, no, whatever. Like, but even regardless of family and friends, like, you need to have that personal fulfillment like within yourself, or you never will be. Like, that's just the way to be happy in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's so interesting. It was a podcast episode and TikTok.
I didn't listen to the podcast episode, but she just said that she made a full episode on it.
Yeah, she's been talking about it a little bit lately. Like, she said she wanted to go into real estate or something because she doesn't want to do social media forever.
Yeah. Do you also think it has to do with the outside of opinion of social media as a job and how it wouldn't be a fulfilling career? Like, kind of like you just make videos. Like that's not fulfilling. Like you're not doing something
maybe
to the world. Like just you're an actor, you're just an athlete, or like those types of jobs where people are like, you're not making a difference, you're not helping.
That's why so many people, like, I feel like some of these really big TikTokers and stuff, they just get famous quickly, and then they don't have, like, what we're working on is building a community and like a business and a brand, whereas these TikTokers just get famous really quickly and like will get 1 million views tying their shoe or whatever.
Yeah. That's like, it's interesting. I listened to I think it's Colin and Samir show with Mr. Beast's manager. And he was talking about, what he looks for in creators and influencers. And a big thing that he focuses on is like YouTube, like presence or some sort of like long form community based content, and hasn't really considered TikTok. Like you could have like millions of followers on TikTok, but he doesn't really consider that like a measure of success, because he's like, the community is such an important part of longevity in the space, which I thought was such a valid and interesting point.
Yeah,
that is really interesting.
But it's also something that takes it's a, what is it, the barrier to entry for like YouTube content and creating those longer form videos is so much bigger than pulling out your phone and creating a TikTok.
Yeah, and it also takes longer. You have to really want it.
Yeah. And it just depends on what fulfills you in general. Like, is it like, I feel fulfilled when I'm like, when a girl messages me and says that I helped her with whatever the case may be, like that makes me feel fulfilled. Like posting a video doesn't really make me feel like, oh, I'm so accomplished for the day and stuff. Like I feel accomplished, but I don't feel like fulfilled of like making a difference in this world or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't know.
And like for Jenna, I feel like she's not, like, she's just making content, sharing what she's doing every day and stuff. She's not like making creative content, like, whereas I'm fulfilled creating like a really beautiful shot with like a script and like all this stuff going into it. Like that's fulfilling for me. When she's just like sharing her office that she moved into, or like her new, like her outfit or whatever, like, yeah, that's not fulfilling. You're literally just sharing your life, which gets boring. When you're like creating something that's going to connect with people, and
that's interesting.
That's what's fulfilling. Because
I think it was kind of more how she started though, like the whole fun on weekdays thing, like that is the fulfilling aspect. Like if she's helping people find happiness on weekdays and whatnot. Like I was so mad when she started that, because like I literally made my happiness week 2 years like before she even fucking started that, and I was like, that's gonna be like my thing. Like I want people to find happiness, and like
it can still be your thing
every day. And it came out fun on weekdays, and I'm like,
what? But why is it like not? Why can't you keep doing it?
I'm sure there will be other people who would much rather connect with you doing that than connect with Jenna doing it.
But that goes back to my comparison problems, and that's like when that happened, I was like, oh shit, can't do this anymore. Like that's what a lot of the times I feel like, oh, other people are doing that, I can't do that anymore. And it sucks because I feel like I have ideas so early. Like I feel like that's where things, and then I can't execute them till later, and somebody always executes it before I do, and then I'm like
what was I thinking about recently that was similar to the like execution piece of it? I think it was probably like a program or like some component of my business. But I was like, I had to remind myself that like in this moment of time, like it's not the right time. And when it is the right time for me, like there will be people that are interested, and like there will be people that buy it, and like it'll be okay. But it's better that like I take my time and don't like overwhelm myself with something too early because I don't have like the resources or the planning or whatever, than to do it and like burn. Just
that's very true.
First.
That's really true. I never thought about it like that.
Another like
the opposite.
A big thing that like has helped me, especially I feel like in the creator space, like in influencer coaching, creator coaching, and etc. There's like so many different people. I had to like mute different people at different points in time, and it has made the biggest difference in like continuing to pursue like my passions and like excitement.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you guys, like, how has muting helped?
It's like it's the biggest, I don't know. It's like my number one thing that I think has been like a game changer for me, because I truly do not like care what other people are doing.
And then once you mute them, it's like you literally forget about them. You're like,
yeah.
Oh wait.
I haven't muted anyone yet. Like, I'm too nosy. I want to know what they're doing.
But you can still go look at them.
Yeah. But then it's like also it's the muting is like the first step. And then the second step is to train yourself to not go check on anything that they're doing.
Yeah, that's true. I think I didn't do that for so long, or I felt like, especially with friendships, I think that's hard. And also social media is different because you have so many friends that like are friends, but like, are they actual friends? They're like acquaintances, whatever. So that it's like you're talking with them and then you feel bad. Like, why am I feeling jealous or comparing myself to my acquaintance? And then it's like, I feel bad muting them, but like they won't even know.
Yeah.
And then it helps so much. Also, people who like DM me things, like
start restricting.
Yeah, like I restrict, or like people who like my least favorite DMs is like not even hate. Like I'd rather have someone be like, you're ugly than like try to just like pick at every single little thing. Like, oh, you should have done this differently, or you should have done this differently, or whatever. Especially about the dogs. Like, I don't know, like it just like really frustrates me. So blocking those people and muting them has like helped so much, because then I don't like, it doesn't make me scared to post things. Because before, if I would post something, I'd be like, I know this person's literally going to reply and say this. Like, I know they will. And they did every time.
Yeah. I will honestly go and block people that I see saying mean stuff on other people's videos. Like, just because I don't want them to ever see my content, you know, like, oh, that was an asshole comment. I'm just blocking them because I don't want them to ever come across my video if they say that to that person.
That's a smart move.
Yeah.
Like way preventative.
Yeah. Because that's a scary thing about posting on TikTok, is you never know who's going to see your video, and it might just be some like miserable man that hates women and is, I mean, why do I care what this guy thinks anyways? But if he leaves a rude comment, it's still going to like affect me a little bit. And I don't know.
Yeah. And I think it's something that like we can be more open about in friendships. Like the three of us always say, like I tell them when I'm feeling jealous of them, or like in different aspects of life, like when I compare myself or whatever. Like I feel like I try to be open about that, because like it shouldn't make the person like feel bad or anything. Like it's almost a compliment, first of all. But like I had an Instagram friend DM me and say that she had me muted for like the past month. And I was like, holy shit, like I've been comparing myself to you for this past month. Like I've literally been thinking all the same thoughts that you were just thinking. And like maybe if we just had the conversation initially, we would have been like, oh, this is so funny. Like we're literally jealous of all the same things about each other and had no idea the whole time.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Because maybe I wonder if you both like even just saying that, like maybe it would have like, maybe you might have still had to mute each other, but then at the same time,
because it's like what you're saying. It's like people who do similar things or in similar spaces, like how you have to, like with when I was like doing more selling physical products, like I had to block every small business, like, and because with executing ideas and stuff too, with any part of business, it's like if you are following all those people, then you see that they put out a product or a course or whatever, and you're like, damn, I was literally going to do something similar. And then you're like, now they'll copy me, or they'll think that I was copying them because we follow each other.
That's like my biggest thing is like, I don't want to ever, because I remember someone did a post and I was like, oh my God, this is in my drafts. And like, if I post it or like, and it's just like, I don't know. And I could have posted it either way, but the just knowing that they posted something similar, I'm like, okay, I can't post it now.
Yeah.
And that's the dumbest thing, because
that is dumb. But why
we're reaching completely different audiences. And people. But do you think that like in like starting Dog Mom Club, you had like a lot of comparison for like other people who had communities like that?
I don't really follow anybody who has memberships type things. Like I didn't really follow anybody who was doing that before, so it was kind of no, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I was kind of more the opposite. I was like, hell yeah, I'm the first one.
That's awesome. What do you like?
But that just shows that it's about who you follow, because I obviously wasn't the first one whatsoever, but like because I wasn't seeing that, then I made it feel better.
Yeah, it's my thing.
Yeah, like what?
Do you think that if someone else started a similar type of club to you, that you would feel some type of way about it?
No, I did have this thought when Instagram released their subscriptions or whatever. That was like a huge thing, because I was like, are you kidding me? Like, if everybody has that, then they all get less, because then people will be wanting to subscribe to more people or whatever. So I think I felt that like somewhat initially. I've always been a person that's like, it might be the Aquarius in me, where I'm like, I discovered this, or like get mad when other people do what I do after I did it first. But I think I've like grown in that, and I might make me feel a twinge of something, but then I would like realistically think and be like, okay, well, it's not the same. Like, we're fully different people, whatever.
Yeah.
Great thing about social media is that like your personality is your brand, you know? So like, even if I was doing the same exact thing as you,
exactly,
it would come off differently, because we're different people. So that's why you shouldn't let people hold you back. If they're doing one thing, you can still do it.
That's like the biggest thing, like in the moment though, like how do you get to that point? Because I think in the moment, in like the thick of it, that's the hardest thing for at least for me to.
That's what like therapy, like I feel like it hasn't. Lexapro turned off the thoughts, but when I got off Lexapro, all my thoughts are still there. Like all the feelings still come up, the anxieties come up or whatever. But then it's just like immediately my brain is like, okay, wait, that's not right. Like I'm feeling this way because of a different reason. Like I need to inspect more. Why am I feeling this way? And how can I solve it? Like it's not the other person's fault. What do you do, Devon, like that you think helps if you've never muted anybody?
Just like taking time off of social media helps. Spending time with my family or doing something that's not on an app. Reading. Like when I was burnt out, I don't even know if I was burnt out, but I was just like really harshly comparing myself to everyone and like not understanding why they're growing and I'm not and stuff. And so when I would see their post, like the people that I'm jealous of or whatever, their posts, I would just get really upset with myself and then like beat myself up. I'm not doing enough. And so just finding hobbies that are not TikTok and Instagram really helped, just stepping away. But I want to start like affirmations and stuff, because I feel like I need that for my confidence and self-esteem and stuff.
Yeah, I try to do that in my head. I can't do it out loud.
Writing it down, you could write it.
Yeah, I do writing sometimes. I definitely do that. I did that for a while. I was trying to journal every day. Someone must be at the door.
Is your neighbor?
Probably the neighbor.
She's trying to break into your house now.
Oh my god, I will literally never get that out of my mind. Just, who the fuck are you?
I can't believe she said that.
I wouldn't have opened the door, probably.
I would not have been
like a little girl outside.
I know. Seriously, you are a little girl.
Yeah.
Help me, I'm poor.
Fuck, what was I just saying? Oh, when you mentioned your family, did you guys deal with like comparison of your siblings? Like, did you feel like family wise was there comparison?
No,
Britt. Damn, that was
my sister compared herself to me a lot, but
I think mine did and does too. Lexi.
I wonder if that's being an older thing then.
Yeah.
Because I very much, that's like my biggest struggle was like that. I just remembered that right now. That's like my whole struggle of life, honestly, in the beginning, was I always compared myself to my siblings. I felt like my parents compared me to them. They got straight A's. I needed to get straight A's. They got like in college, they got their master's degrees. I need to get my master's. Like just all these things where I felt like I needed to do, like live the same life that they did, or I wouldn't be like successful.
Yeah, I think that's like the good thing about being the oldest.
Yeah.
Is you kind of set the tone.
Yeah. I probably set
and you're
the
older,
tone
so you're better at the things, you know? So it's just like,
I feel like that was probably like a shitty thing on like, because I, you know, had good grades. I was like, you know, doing bigger things. Yeah. And setting the tone kind of like higher, so setting the bar kind of like higher ish, you know?
Yeah.
And I have this, I guess you could say it, I like the societal standards of like success.
Yeah.
And so the comparison to that is really tough. But what I've been really reinforcing with like both of my sisters is just like celebrating them for like who they are individually, especially like my baby sister. She didn't go to school right away. She's like figuring out like what she wanted to do for school. And I celebrated the hell out of that because I was like, you would have done and wasted so much time and money doing something you don't even like. And now she's like in school for like a training program that she's like really excited about. So
that's
like,
so cool though. Like you're such a good sister to do that. That's so good of you to just be encouraging like that and like make it clear like there's other ways to be successful and have success.
Yeah.
Thing, it really goes all back to freaking fulfillment and everything and how like what success is or how you even feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
Like why do jobs even matter? Like we're literally on a rock. Like what?
Yeah. I think a big thing I always go back to, and like I talk to a lot of my like clients about too, is just what are you passionate about? Like what are you excited about? Like why are you doing this in the first place? And a lot of the time, like for me, when I go back to that, it can drive me to like think differently about like why I'm even comparing myself in the first place.
For sure, because it helps you. That's what I feel when I talk to my Dog Mom Club people too. It like allows you to see what makes each person special and different, and why a brand would choose to work with me over somebody else or with somebody else over me. Like it's for different reasons because we all bring something different to the table.
Yeah. Even like followers too are just like posting and stuff. It's like, what, like, why are you even posting? Or like, what's your, you know, especially because I think right now there's so many variables that are so out of our control. But when people are talking about like likes or views or comments or something, I'm like, okay, well, like, are you putting your true self out there for other people to like connect with? And it's cool when like, and it's such a brave thing. Like I it's not necessarily super easy to like put yourself and your opinions and your vulnerability online.
No,
but when they're able to share those like different parts of them, it's amazing, like the connections that people make.
It's so crazy what a difference. Like it's really the key to life. Or the key to social media at least. But also life. Like I think being myself on social media has helped me be just so much more myself in life.
Totally.
Like just feel more comfortable. I don't know. Like I used to never go outside
that validation.
Honestly, it is a little that honestly probably is. I've thought about that. Like because it is validation. Which is maybe not the most healthy thing of like.
But like I think that's good that you are able to be yourself online and then people accept that. And then that teaches you that yourself, your true self is good enough.
Yeah.
And that people like it or relate to it, connect to it.
Yeah. And the haters teach you that you can still love yourself when people don't like you too.
Yeah.
That is like the sales roller coaster that I was on. Like you have to like not accept the good, because if you like are constantly letting the good, like it inflates you up, and then like the bad like brings you down to like rock bottom, and then you're like, I need more inflation. And
I think like it's always going to be a struggle and something that we have to be working on, but the thing that we need to be doing, that the only thing that's going to help this comparison struggle and jealousy is like your inner self-talk and reminding yourself like who you were a year ago. Like literally I am doing what my dream was a year ago. Like I dreamt of we have a podcast. I do this full time. made $150,000 this year. Like what? But like sitting here today in this chair, I'm like, I'm not doing enough. I don't have enough followers. I don't have enough money. And like, it's just a constant work in progress that you need to be journaling. You need to be telling yourself that you're doing good enough and reminding yourself of all the things that you are doing that's good enough.
Reflecting
and celebrating the small things that you accomplish. And like even like there's so much more weight on the brands that say no to me versus the brands that say yes to me. Like, oh cool, PetSmart said yes, but Bumble said no or whatever. And then I'm like, Bumble said no, Bumble said no, Bumble said no, you know? So it's like,
sitting in like gratitude for like all the things that you've already done.
Just like, and it's hard to, because you have to convince yourself. You have to say it so much in your head that you have to believe it, because our brains are smart. And like in the back of my head, I can be like, nah, I don't believe that. But
that's the lying voice, not the true voice.
Yeah. It's the devil on your
shoulder.
love
having like positive proof of like all of those different things, just like to reference at any point in time. I have it like pinned in my notes of like just a list of like just good things.
That's okay. That's what I want everybody to do, is make a list and put it in their notes of all the good things and always add to it when something good happens. And then you can go, I love that.
That's a great idea. I love that. I also take screenshots. Like if people send me nice messages or like a really nice comment or something, I screenshot that like the things that bring me back of like, oh, this is why I'm doing it, or helping people or whatever.
Yeah. It's hard, like, but to make a note of it, like the screenshots are great. And I used to just have it like as a note, but like in iPhone, you can like pin it. So it's like positive proof. It's just like pinned in my notes, and it's like easy for me because I go to my notes like all the time. To just go in there and just jot different things down. And it just like makes a huge difference for when you have to like have a shitty day and you're like, okay, these are all the good juicy things.
Though, like it's just like so crazy how you spiral. Like that's exactly what my whole breakdown was on this week, like of just feeling like nothing's enough, and then like thinking about it more and being like, I have a podcast, like I've worked with these brands this year that are my like that I wrote down years ago that are my dream brands to work with. Like I never like. And if you put me as a little kid, even, have you seen that TikTok trend where it's like conversations with your younger self? Oh my God, I cry at all of them and I want to make one. But like, that's so a thing. Like if I just can't even imagine like me and my friend Victoria just watching YouTubers or Instagrammers and being like, oh, that's so cool. Like we love making videos and stuff. Like we would never get paid for doing that. And now we both get paid for doing that. Like it's so crazy.
Yeah. I think another thing too that oftentimes people do is like it's same thing for like overwhelm. You're like, oh, I have all these things to do. I have like all of this stuff. And I think the same solution is like just listing out all the things that you've already done and like already accomplished, and like how much of a badass you are like for doing all the things.
Such a great comparison of feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling overwhelmed just in a different way, but like
totally.
Whoa, that just blew my mind a little.
Because I think you're focusing on all the things you haven't done or like need to do or whatever, but like you're like, wait, think back on all the things you've already done.
And we also need to like think of things that aren't like that our self-worth isn't just work too. Like I'm really bad at that of like, yes, I can celebrate all these things, or like there's these things that I'm not meeting where I want to be or whatever, but like that has no reflection on me as a human. And like I'm more proud that I'm just like a nice person and all these other things about me. Like
the detachment is like one of the hardest things that I've been working on, but it's so powerful.
I can't do it. I try.
I think something that if I continue doing it more and like really practicing it, that helps me is saying like, I can't wait to do that when I see somebody that I'm comparing myself to. Like reminding myself that I'm not there yet, but I will get there. And like, I shouldn't be jealous of them. I should just take that as inspiration and manifest that for myself.
Wow,
I love that.
I'm like, great, can't do that now.
That's like actually some of the I feel like the beauty of comparison to some degree, or like seeing what other people do, is like the expansion of like what's possible. Like one of my friends, I just posted her, she's like I don't know the technical term, but she's a professor teaching like social media at a university. Like what?
Wow.
Wait, like that's not so even something that was like even possible. And honestly, like making $1 million like in a year wasn't necessarily like even on my list, but like it's on the list. It's happening.
Yeah. And seeing that other people are doing it tells you that you can do it too. Like when I get jealous of other creators that share how much money they make, but like, no, that's actually a great thing, because I wouldn't have known that I could do this full time if those people didn't share how much money they made.
Yeah.
And that's like, you can mute those people in those times where you're feeling that way. Like,
yeah, definitely. Like
you guys have told me to mute a few people and I still haven't, but
that one girl I muted has helped me a lot.
Try like one person that you mute, just one.
This one girl, she'd be posting in April, I made $400,000 so far this year.
Wait, oh, you did mute her?
Yeah.
Is that the one that you wanted me to mute?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But the one you said you can't.
And mute that person that
I'm too nosy. I need to know.
What were you saying?
The other person that's like too close to you in terms of like what brands you want to work with.
Yeah.
You know.
But like also I have like, we're friends, so it's like.
But she won't know. That's what I'm saying, is with your friends, you can like, they don't know.
Yeah.
She's not gonna message you and be like, Devon, did you mute me? I noticed you haven't.
We're not that close.
Like, no.
Yeah, but I think a little bit on the healthier side, I still take it as inspiration. Add that brand to the list that I want to work with, you know?
Yeah.
That's good. I think I need to get better at using it as inspiration. I don't think that really ever happens to me.
It's always a work in progress.
It is so crazy though, just like even, and sometimes I also think we have to like reflect back on some of these like insane goals that we've had, and like we've almost expanded our own minds. Like when I got the 5-figure deal, I was like, I did not think that was gonna happen for like years.
Yeah. But I guess that is inspirational, honestly, because I have like 20,000 that I need to make this year left. And you just saying like, you got a 5-figure, that makes me be like, oh, that could maybe cut out half of it. Like I probably won't happen, but like, it makes it possible in my mind of like, oh, Britt did that. Like,
but that's like it goes from like 20,000 being this like insane number for you, or like 20,000 just being like hard to, oh, like this is how other people have done 20,000, or like just making it more possible.
Yeah. Oh, also I have like maybe in the works right now, but it's in the works, so I don't want to jinx it.
Oh, awesome.
But with 2 different people, 2 separate ones.
So another thing that like I've been really working on. Oh, this is actually really good. I'm excited to share this. This is really exciting. So it's so good. Okay. So it's like,
I'm excited.
It's a different way that manifestation was kind of like explained to me. And just kind of like what you're saying right now, Maggie, of like, I don't want to jinx it, or like something might not happen. How can you think of it as like, when it does happen, like how excited are you going to be? Like thinking about like getting the email,
imagining yourself like,
yeah. And like, just, but like kind of the difference between like desire and like need or want. Like for me, desiring something is like an exciting feeling, and it makes maybe exciting. It makes the possibility exciting. It makes the waiting exciting. And it's not so much like, oh, I need that, or like I want that to happen. It's like, holy shit, like
this
I
might
could
happen.
get like $20,000 for the rest of the year. Like this is like such an exciting feeling, and what am I going to do with it, and how is it going to like impact me, and like build it up in your mind to get like this like and because like that's and this is like what I was thinking when I was like learning about this, Devon, like you were talking about like it's really hard to believe in saying it, like you know, you're like, it's hard to connect to like the belief in it and like it actually happening. But I think it's so much easier to say like I'm excited, or like, you know, the feeling
the
about
possibility,
than being like, I was saying I want this, but like I'm not actually connected to it and I don't actually believe it. So then like, how is it actually going to happen?
Sounds like an easier way to visualize it too. Like,
Yeah.
I have a hard time, they say just like to visualize yourself with it happening, but like maybe writing it down, like what I'm going to do and how it's like writing it actually, instead of trying to like imagine the whole scenario in my head.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be more helpful.
I also think the feeling part, like if you can just like get yourself jazzed about like,
how's it going to feel? Yeah.
Yeah. And even
That's
just
so
the
true.
the potential of like something.
Yeah, because if I'm waiting like these 2 deals, say whatever, because that's a very common thing with this job or whatever, where there's a waiting period of like, is this not going to happen? Is it going to be lower than I initially offered? Is it going to be more? Whatever. So like that whole period, you could very easily be in your mind like, it's probably not going to happen, or like I shouldn't get my hopes up, blah blah blah. Or you could
you don't want to get your hopes up.
I'm very excited. Like this is in the works right now. This is going to happen probably. Like that is different.
Because I definitely, that's like the waiting piece and like the discomfort of that and like the unknown is always where I get stuck sometimes. And so it's so much more exciting for me to be like, oh my God, when they email back.
That's so
like,
true. Because then if you stay excited, and like you're staying excited, so then like new ones that you're having negotiations with, and you're excited about those. So then if you get told no, you're still keeping your excitement of bringing money in, like
the momentum and like the energy is still there. And
the energy is
being put out there.
Part.
Yeah.
So that was like a huge unlock this week on my drive. I was like, wow.
That is huge. Okay, I'm definitely gonna do that. I literally even feel like just me this week when I was like, okay, I'm changing my mindset. Like literally, I started getting more emails. Like I'm like, cool. Like, why does that happen?
Yeah, I need to be better about like writing things down and journaling so that I can keep my energies high, my vibrations.
The vibration of money. Have you guys bought the book yet? The Rich as Fuck book?
Oh, I downloaded the audio book because we had free audio credits. So I did get it, but I have not started it.
You're going to love the audio version. She's just like so sassy and like just tells it like it is. And I have the book too. And she like drops some gems that like are not in the book either. She like tells like little tangents and stories. Yeah.
Which that's cool.
Like, yeah. I didn't realize like how many she did because I was trying to like follow on the book and like underline things.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my God, you like really blessed us with
podcasts like that. I feel like I don't ever, or self-help books or anything like that. It's like, because when I listen to podcasts, I'm usually doing something else. And with those ones, I feel like, I need to like be taking notes and really paying attention to what this girl's saying. And then when I have free time, I'm like, I want to watch TV.
Yeah. That's where I like to do like my working out and listening to those things, or driving, because I get too distracted, or like I cook and I listen to them.
I love doing that.
But there's also something like great about just listening. Like, yeah, it'd be good if you could take notes on stuff, but it's also just like absorbing it.
Yeah, I think I almost like digest things better if I'm driving and listening rather than like reading a book.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been really liking the listening to books instead of reading them, but
I'll try the audiobook and I'll keep you guys updated on. But I don't have an Audible subscription, so I have to go and like do it now.
Use my link
so I can get this
my
book.
Audible link.
You should be able to get a free book.
Oh, well, I've had a subscription before though, and I like paused it. Like,
I don't know.
I'll just restart it.
Yeah.
Cameron was paying for it for like months or something, but not getting books. So we had like 20 something books that we needed to redeem. So like we were just going through like, let's pick this one and this one. And I was like, Britt told me one. I gotta get this one.
That's so good. I can't wait for you guys to listen.
I'm excited.
I think it's like only 2 hours total.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
I can't wait until I can walk outside again.
I'm picturing like a 10-hour thing.
No, I think like it's maybe I'm lying and it's like 4 hours, but it's like,
but
I think
still,
it might be
that's
2.
like 2 podcasts for me. Like that's not that big of a deal. I'm picturing like
I was kind of sad
how
short
hours
it was. Okay, I lied. I don't know. How do you see how long it is? So maybe 4. It might be like 4 hours.
That's not bad.
Or less.
That's probably like a great length.
It's like perfect.
Well, that's really interesting if you think about like, you know how people post like turn your podcast into a blog post, like take the whole transcript of the podcast, make that into a blog post so you can like reuse different content places. It's an interesting concept that a whole book could be 4 hours, you know? Like what if we just talked 4 hours and then that's a book?
I know.
Think about it like that.
Yeah. It actually did make me like rethink it. I was like, oh, like, well, also like I think talking out loud is longer than
writing or reading. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I mean, depends on how
Talking is
fast
like
you
longer
read.
than reading.
I read slowly.
Either way, I was like also like, wow, I should be like going through more books then. Like if I'm like physically reading a book and it takes her 4 hours to like talk about the book, that's like maybe a week to do a book.
Yeah.
Instead of
that's just so
how
interesting.
long some books take me.
I've always wanted to like, I'll write a book in my life. That's like one of my life goals, to at least write one book. But that sounds like
to read
extreme deal. Like, well, I always wanted to write fiction books first. So like that's why I have so many different little aspects of my life.
One of my clients got reached out to by a publisher, and it was kind of like one of those things that was like so out there. I was like, that's not even like in the realm of possibilities. And then she actually got 2 in 1 week. And
wow.
Yeah, it was wild. And I was like, wow, like this might not be like on the list right now. And like it didn't end up being the right timing and stuff. But like it was really cool for me to be like, oh, I could potentially like help my clients get book deals now.
That's
like,
crazy.
I can book myself, or I don't know if I want to, but you know, it's I don't know.
Yeah,
that's not crazy. In the realm of possibilities.
The other day, Cameron was like, oh my God, I had the best idea. We need to make a cartoon show with Finley and Sadie, and we got to pitch it to Netflix and like all these different companies. And I was like, do you follow Hammy and Olivia?
They are freaking like expanders. Like talk about like holy shit moments.
Like so crazy. They're literally pitching their show idea to like every single network.
Yeah. I am like,
every single one.
God.
I wonder which one it'll end up on.
I know. He's definitely been like
out.
a huge expander for me in terms of like possibilities of
that's cool.
Life and business.
Do we have any peaks or pits or any final thoughts on comparison?
One final quick thought.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go.
One just like quick thought is just that it's okay that it's always going to be like a work in progress, and it's like not something that is ever going to go away, but we get better at dealing with it, and we like knowing that you're just going to get better at dealing with it every time it comes up, and you can build your toolbox of different things that work for you. I think is just a big like next step, because you don't want to beat yourself up every single time you're comparing yourself to somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just need to constantly, and I'm telling this to myself, like be reminding yourself that you have what other people want. B, you have what like you have been working, like past you wanted. You are doing enough. And also we don't see on social media, we don't see everything that other people are doing. You know, they're just sharing the highlight reel. We all know this, but like it's just we have to ingrain that into our brains. We have to constantly be working on feeling better about comparing ourselves to our peers, I guess.
Yeah. And it's just such a human feeling that like we just have to be better about like feeling those negative feelings and then getting over them, because it's going to be something I don't think I'll ever be solved of like, okay, I'm never going to have comparison thoughts. Like I'm sure when I have kids, I'll be like, that mom has a nicer car, or like that kid, whatever. Like I'm sure it'll be a problem throughout life. I'll be in a nursing home like, damn, that walker's sick. Like, but it's just managing it. Like it will always happen, but
appreciating what you have. Yeah.
Yes. Also, yeah, gratitude is a huge thing. Oh, yeah. I wanted to say that because on my notebooks that I sell, if you want to buy them, I have like a section that says happy things, and it's like every day to write something that I'm grateful for. And a lot of the times I write like silly things, like not silly things, but like over recording the podcast today, I'm thankful for that today. Like that's what I'm thankful for. But then it made me not be as grateful for like the big picture stuff, because I'm like, oh, that's obvious. I'm thankful for my family and my friends and my house and my job and those things are obvious, but then I think I wasn't actually sitting in like the gratitude of like I'm want to buy a house, but like I'm so happy that I have a house to live in, and like I pay my own rent and I live in this nice rental house. Like I don't know, like it's just so many steps.
Yeah. I love constantly have to be working on your gratitude.
I feel like I don't. Oh, I got all the engagement pictures back. That's my peak.
Ooh,
that is so good.
Last night. I'll send you the link. There's like 170.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be posting.
My peak of the week is hiring a coordinator for my management agency
That is
and
dope.
signing a new client. That's really awesome.
Do you feel like you want to take on like, do you have a goal of like a certain amount of clients like you want, or are you like limiting to a certain amount, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to expand. So I'm going to hire managers underneath me and then more coordinators to coordinate all the different components of the business. So
Damn,
I just have to figure out how
so
many
crazy.
people I can manage or that I want to manage, and then how many people I can pay someone else to manage. So
that stresses me out.
It's exciting as fuck.
No, it's so exciting. It's crazy. Like just the amount of growth that you've had in the last 6 months, even. It's insane.
Yeah, it's true. Like I looked at how much I made, like, I don't know, just in working dog mama in, what month was it? I was at like 30,000 whatever month, and then like we surpassed like 100,000. And
because like for you, like working dog mama is most of your income, right? Or like percentage wise, would it be more than brand deals?
I have to break it down, but I need to double check on all the numbers, but I like specifically structured the business to have like multiple income streams so that I never have to like feel like holy shit, like I'm not getting enough brand deals, or I don't have enough clients, or anything like that.
And that is something that like I'm happy with too, that I have, I guess, because that's what I was explaining to Cameron. It's like so Fetch like pays for my like basic living and life and rent and bills, and then like brand deals is like anything on top of that. So I don't know.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's nice. I need to
I was
figure out
gonna
what
tell
my
you
other thing
guys,
is.
but your thing is like you,
I guess.
Is you.
I would tell you to start a membership.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that's a goal for next year.
That's a good goal.
Because remember I talked about how I wanted to do like the bingo thing and stuff.
Yeah.
I just haven't had time to like sit down and plan it. But like, yeah, something like a membership about trying to build friendships and stuff feels kind of like my area I could go into.
I think
for introverts and stuff. But yeah.
I think
right now I'm trying to become TikTok famous first. So
literally almost has 1 million followers. I feel like when you hit 1 million, like we need to like do something.
Yeah, I have a picture of my profile that says 1.1 million on my phone, like as a manifestation thing. Like I look at it every day.
I love that.
That's cool. I need to do that more.
That is a really good idea. I was going to tell you guys what's really interesting. I don't know if I'll include this in the episode, but looking at our analytics for our episodes, the highest plays days are never on Tuesdays.
What are the days?
Like they're like the day after, like August 16th. I don't know what day of the week that was. Our highest play day was August 30th.
I feel like podcasters always assume that people listen to their episode the minute it comes out. Because like they'll be like, hey, good morning. Like assuming that people tuned in at 9 a.m. when the podcast dropped. But like I never listen to my podcasts when they first come out. Like it'll take me a day or two to get to them and get through them.
Yeah, it's just so interesting. Like you can see like on September 13th, what day was that?
A Tuesday.
Okay. So like we had 60 plays of the anxiety episode, but then like 6 plays of the Am I the Asshole episode and 4 plays of our very first episode.
Yeah.
So it's also cool to see people like going back and listening.
Yeah. Or just starting to listen.
Yeah.
I'm curious if because this was the first week that we did Monday post, right? Or is it the second week?
I think second.
I'm wondering if that'll like help drive more listens on Tuesday.
On Tuesdays, yeah. That makes sense.
Probably. I'm going to start posting on TikTok today too. So
I'll post the old ones on TikTok too, which is very interesting. I feel like people might be interested in hearing this behind the scenes though, because like before I had a podcast, I really always wanted to know this stuff.
Yeah.
About podcasts.
Yeah, it is always interesting. I like hearing like the tidbits of like, oh, these are the most downloaded ones, or the chatting ones for World's First Podcast are always their like highest listened to ones. I actually truly, before I really liked this is actually a fun evolution of like my interest in them, because at first I really liked when they had guests on their episodes. Like those were my favorite episodes, and then they started doing more like solo episodes, just them talking, and now those are my favorite.
Yeah, once you get to like at first you're invested in hearing the guests speak, but then you get to know the hosts and you just like you are entertained by them just chatting about whatever. Yeah.
Like I want more of those episodes from them. And now that when they have a guest, I'm like, oh, I guess I'll listen. But
yeah. It's like Armchair Expert, my favorite is the fact check. Like I'll listen to an expert's on expert just to get to the fact check, because
I agree.
I love that.
I put on experts like to fall asleep.
Nice.
So funny.
I like Monica and Dax's voices like calming to me before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's another interesting thing about podcasts. Like I wonder how many people like go to sleep. Probably not to us yet. Well, maybe, who knows? But like a lot of people listen to podcasts to go to sleep.
Yeah.
You can listen to our podcast, get the views and the downloads and the listens and the stream.
Put it on repeat.
Oh, me listen. I thought I was like talking to whoever's listening to us right now as they're going to sleep. I think.
No, yeah, I meant for everyone to listen as they go to sleep.
Perfect.
Downloads.
We are going to be doing a Q&A episode. It's like I turn on.
I know.
Okay. When will this become natural? I don't know. Like maybe.
I don't know.
Episode 50.
I hope so.
Isn't it crazy how many like it goes so fast?
Yeah.
We've hit the 7 episode mark. That's what they say podcasts don't last.
Oh,
I do 7 and 8 or 8 and 9.
We did 8 and 9.
This is so exciting.
We hit the milestone. Very exciting. But thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed us talking about comparison. I feel a little better, honestly.
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm gonna work on
mindset.
myself.
Yeah, I might journal after this.
Yeah.
Write down some things I'm grateful for. Who knows? But yeah, thanks for listening to us talk. And we are going to be doing a Q&A episode next week or in a few weeks. At some point.
It will be airing next week.
Wait, me and Devon are going to be together.
Yes.
Next week.
Wait, is that when we're doing the Q&A episode?
I don't know.
Wait, I need a calendar out. Now I'm confused.
October 4th, we're recording together. Yeah, so we'll be recording together. So the next episode that you guys see, it's going to be us together. Yeah,
I don't know how that's going to work yet, but
I know.
But yeah, so Devon and Brittany will be together and I'll have the biggest FOMO just on my computer on Zoom. But yeah, send us all your questions. You can email us anytime at sogladwerefriends@gmail.com. You can DM us at sogladwerefriends on Instagram. Please leave us a review and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube, like the videos. I think that's it. Okay, see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
That was good.